Yeah, welcome to the Monday morning recap show at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're doing college football odds this week on the Monday morning recap show. Dan Holloway, D'Anthony, is actually recording with Tim Pool right now in Washington, D.C. Your wish will finally come true tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure his recording schedule, but he is doing Tim Pool's podcast, which you definitely do not want to miss. And we're actually going to try to get the feed as well and put it up on ours on YouTube because that should be a banger. And I know you guys have asked for years and years and years, and finally happened. Finally happens. We're real proud of it here on this side. So there's only going to be onesies over here and then twosies over there for these guys. Hi. We're forcing you to do top 25 odds, although you do outside the top 25 odds.
We're doing pretty well, too.
You still gamble on both.
Yeah, we do.
Of course.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's where you find the better lines.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah.
Where they know less.
100%. And we've done well on both shows so far for all of you guys. My lock of the week in college football this week was Iowa. Man, I hammered the shit out of Iowa, and it's one of those games where I didn't even have to look up, so shout out to the Hawkeyes. Nothing makes me happier as a gambler when it's 27-0 at halftime, and it's like a 4.5 line, and you're like, great.
Good.
Yeah.
I was getting it.
I felt the same way about Wyoming this week, but, they blew, I think, like a 28-point lead, and I think they pushed at -7.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Cost Dan like $800.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
This is the last leg of my
rough.
parlay.
Did you money line that Iowa game, though? A lot of people did after we did the show. A lot of people hit that money line on the Iowa game.
Well, if you recall last week's show, Top 25, I actually took Iowa State because I loved Iowa.
Oh.
Because it was one of those situations where I was
Got it.
kind of like trying to fade my brain.
Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't work.
Dan will sometimes fade so hard he'll fade in on himself.
Yep.
Like
a neutron star,
Yeah,
yes.
he just his brain collapses in on itself, not knowing what to fade.
It was so obvious that I had to go the other way.
The beauty of that is I just watched this Netflix. Jesus Christ. Welcome to the show, kids. 5 o'clock, Monday morning recap show, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I just watched on Netflix their Untold, which is, we were talking about this before we went on air, is basically their version of 30 for 30. It's fantastic, and they have these super interesting stories. They did Marty Fish, the tennis player, who was Andy Roddick's best friend, and Andy's parents essentially moved him in so that Andy could have someone to train with who was on his level to make him the best ever, and it equally made both of them good. But fading yourself was his own downfall in that movie. Mm-hmm. And he walked you through the steps of it. He was up finally in a match against Andy, and he goes, oh shit, I think he's going to go left with his soft serve instead of right. But he goes, in his mind, he goes, well, Andy knows this. So Andy's definitely going to go right because he knows I'm going left. And since he knows that, he's probably going to go back to left. And he walked you through this whole 10-step process
just
mentally.
A cruel game of rock, paper, scissors.
It's just that
against yourself,
yes,
though.
Yes.
It's that Princess Bride scene.
That's why I always go rock.
It's the poison scene.
Yeah.
Always go rock.
Right. So with Andy Roddick, he did all of the things that he never does against this guy, his buddy, to beat him. And he's like, dude, mentally it just fucked me up.
So Andy Roddick broke his friend's brain.
Yes. And he said that was the toughest part of being best friends with him because he goes, dude, we are best friends in real life. We did grow up together and we are like brothers. He goes, we lived together since 15 years old.
Does that make you feel for Naomi Osaka now?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I figured.
Reason being, Andy Roddick, you walked through his process as well. Straight fucking gangster, knew the ins and outs of all of it, and then he also knew when to walk away with pride and dignity. And they tell you in these videos, I mean, these training videos that they show you about mental toughness. And the reason I'm bringing this up today is we're going to get into mental toughness here in a second with the quarterback from Ohio State. They tell you what a winner is and a loser is, how you carry yourself and everything else. Roddick knew it, and then he also knew that his buddy didn't have that same mental toughness. And he goes, usually, and he's looking back at this now, it was probably 40 years old. He goes, usually people never recover. So he goes, it's 17 or 18 years old. You know if they have that killer instinct within them. And he goes, if they don't, they'll never get it. And he goes, Marty was the one guy who figured it out 10 years later. And he goes, it was miraculous. But he goes, most people don't. And that's the same way I felt about my Ohio State Buckeyes since we're going to the top story of the weekend. Biggest upset, I guess. I mean,
14.5 points.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big upset.
As far as point spreads go. However, all of us on the panel, though, did say...
We all took Oregon's points.
Well, it was too many points. And I just said, hey, I'm not going to do it.
Too many by a full touchdown.
Well, no, I mean, shit. You could have taken the money line on that and made some real goddamn cash if you believed in it. I just didn't believe in the points spread. I thought 14.5 was too much.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, fucking CJ Stroud.
Good to have Gus Johnson call a game that actually
best in the biz.
Teams score points in.
Best in the biz. So, look, I said this on Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. Subscribe. That's where all the picks are going, all that stuff. You can see all the actual betting slips. So you know the show isn't bullshit and everything else because you can see where all my money went. I did fine in college. I did terrible in the NFL yesterday, which we'll get to on Wednesday. But with CJ Stroud, and I'd said this in the primetime game we did with Minnesota, where when you're throwing high like that, those high balls, it's very Jalen Hurts-ish. To me, and he never got a title because of that as a starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. And for me, I don't think you correct that. He had a great second half with a bunch of bombs, and he fired away. Same with this one. But there is a look in that kid's eyes that is not the same look that Justin Fields has.
Is it a look of a man that doesn't have an offensive line that could protect him against a defense that didn't have their best player? Is it a look of a man that didn't have a defense that could actually stop Oregon from running the same goddamn play?
Nope.
Because CJ Verdell ran all over that defense.
He did. It has nothing to do with CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, first half, when you're overthrowing guys with those easy passes like that, they're not there. Even Matt Miller from ESPN, who is the NFL scout for ESPN, said, look, you've got 4 great five-star guys sitting in that quarterback room. You got to start looking at someone else in that QB room. I mean, you got Kyle McCord in there. You got Jack Miller in there. Quinn Ewers is 17 years old. As much as I love him, and I can't wait for him to be Johnny Manziel, physically, a 17-year-old's body is not going to be a college football starter. Either. Probably not.
He doesn't know what to do yet.
I don't know.
When your freshman quarterback throws for 500 yards, you should probably win that game.
No, when it's all late garbage time shit,
there was no garbage time. They lost by a touchdown.
Yeah, they lost by a touchdown.
We lost by a touchdown because we came back towards the end. But let's face it, at halftime, we were down by 14.
That's not a lot.
It is. You can't. Ohio. Do you know? So Justin Fields. Do you know how much time he was down in his college career?
He played on better teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got the 2 best receivers.
Wait, he also only played for Ohio State for a year.
Olave probably should catch the ball that was right between his hands in that first quarter.
Olave had a bad drop.
He also went for the pass interference call rather than the catch because the ball was right there. He could have scored a touchdown. He decided to flop. Didn't get the PI call. No, it's not on CJ. It's not on CJ Stroud.
You have 2 receivers that are going in the top 15 of the draft. The problem with you guys, and I'm saying this in all sincerity, is you guys went to schools that will never compete for national championships. You don't understand what it's like to have 4 or 5 great QBs in a quarterback room. You fucking bench him. And if you have a guy who is as mentally tough as Ryan Day, you go the Saban method. Saban is a fucking gangster, and Alabama is the best in the business for this reason. In the national championship, Jalen Hurts overthrowing people. The national championship, he pulled that motherfucker and put a true freshman in Tua, and they came back and won the title. If you're that guy and you have a quarterback room like in Alabama, like a fucking Clemson, like a fucking Ohio State, pull him. Pull him. Try somebody else in there.
By the way, our schools have the same amount of Heisman finalists for at quarterback in our lifetimes.
Whom's Ohio State's best quarterback in the NFL?
What's that?
Who is Ohio State's best quarterback in the NFL?
They don't have one. Maybe Justin Fields?
I think it's literally Justin Fields.
Doesn't matter.
I'll take Dante Culpepper.
College is such a fucking different game all the way around. Why didn't Dante Culpepper win a championship?
We were just his first few seasons we were D2, so that's probably why.
Did you win the D2 championship?
No,
you didn't. You couldn't even win in a fucking D2 championship. Like, for real, you couldn't win a D2 championship. It is a different style of game. Like, CJ Stroud, to be honest, in the fucking college game today, you should be able to run the ball a lot, which is what he did in high school. Why he's not doing that now, I have no idea.
Wouldn't that be on the coaching? Isn't that the coaches?
No. You take off and run. If it's not there, you take off and run. Justin Fields does it all the time. He came in and actually played yesterday in the NFL. Took off and ran one through.
Well, you couldn't run the ball because your offensive line got fucking manhandled by Oregon's defensive line, who they didn't have their best player. Thibodeau didn't play. Their defense still fucking had their way with Ohio State's offense. And somehow CJ Stroud...
You just said that he put 500 yards on a defense they couldn't control.
They couldn't run the ball. They did not... How many yards did they run for? Because, like, towards the end, they could not run the ball.
Well, you couldn't run the ball because you're down by 90. They had to come back the entire game. They were down by 2 touchdowns the entire second half. All you could do was throw the fucking football there.
It's not on Stroud. There's much bigger problems with Ohio State. And
look, Ohio State's defense sucks.
I would put it pretty much squarely all on the defense. I don't know, 28 points against Oregon, that's pretty good. I'd be surprised if a lot of teams scored more than that this year.
One of which where like the fucking corner for Oregon's looking at his wristband.
Sure. Look, I'm looking at the numbers here. 35 for 54. So you missed 20 passes.
Okay. He's a redshirt freshman. Like he throws the ball 50 times a game. Like you're going to
put someone else in. Give somebody else a shot. You got 4 5-stars sitting in your quarterback room. You know who else didn't get started at Ohio State? Joe Burrow. He was sitting in the QB room too. You could have had him in there. Look, Justin Fields, his entire college career was down 14 minutes and 58 seconds.
He only played 1 year.
It doesn't matter.
We need to supercut.
He played one game, and he's down. He's down both games, the entire fucking game.
I remember the Northwestern game, the live watch, where you were just like berating Justin Fields, just saying you got to take him out. We got
to have it today. Like
we got to have Sean supercut it. Like every Ohio State quarterback. I love it because it's a genuine fan reaction because it's like your dumb meathead brain. Like I feel the same way with the Eagles all the time. Whenever like if Jalen Hurts played well this weekend, but like when he has a bad game, I know I'm gonna react the same way. Where I'm just gonna be like, God damn it, Jalen Hurts is never gonna be like an elite quarterback. Like it's a natural fan reaction.
It is not. There is a look in kids' eyes where you can tell they just don't have it. The heart isn't there. Same with Dwayne Haskins when he went to the NFL, for Ohio State. Too soon. Didn't have it. That kid will be out of the NFL in fucking 2 weeks. Ohio State ran for 130 yards. How many more rushing yards did you want out of them, I guess?
How many times did they try to run the ball?
26.
What's that average?
6-ish.
6-ish?
6 and change.
I mean, 6 yards a carry. What more do you want out of the running game? He threw for 484 yards. Still overthrew. 20 passes incomplete.
You made the national championship game last year. God forbid you only get a New Year's Six bowl this year.
And
as you rebuild towards another national championship berth in a year or two.
Oregon is really good.
I think they're ranked 4 now.
Yes, but look, and they're the best team obviously in the Pac-12. But here's the formula, right? You guys just got to win out. You're still going to make the playoff. Ohio State. This is how they won their national championship back. They lost week 2 against Virginia Tech, who ended up 7-6. It was a dog shit team. Oregon's a much better team than the year you lost to Virginia Tech. You're fine.
I don't care about making the playoffs anymore. Like, I'm all done with that. You win a championship or not. That's the way Bama thinks. That's the way Clemson thinks. Oklahoma clearly doesn't think that, but that's the way I feel.
In the playoff.
What's that?
Oklahoma only makes the playoff.
That's what I'm saying. They're not in a championship thing, but like
in 2 years they'll stop making the playoff.
As a fan, if you look at a team and say, "All right, that's not good enough," as an Ohio State fan, put somebody else in there. I would love to see Kyle McCord or Jack Miller in there just to see what the difference is. Because these overthrows in the first and second quarter, that's what led to them getting down. I mean, Olave and those guys were wide open that first half, and it was the same way with the first half of the Minnesota game. If you're always down and your defense is always on the field, yes, it's a shitty defense, but they're going to get more exhausted as the time of the game goes on here. I mean, I'm looking at these fucking numbers. Like, his QBR was 81. That's it. Give somebody else a shot. Look, I wasn't the only one saying this. All of ESPN was saying this. Fox, everybody was saying, hey, dude, you got to figure out CJ Stroud. He looks too nervous out there. Same as I said in the Minnesota game. He looks too nervous for primetime. And then he's on the sidelines laughing, giggling about shit. And it's like, hey, dude, if you're a fucking champion, do that. But right now, no, I don't get it. So, look, if you are a Buckeye fan, you're looking for some kind of kernel of hope here. It's like these guys said, yeah, they could win out and make the playoffs. Is that good enough? In my eyes, not really.
He'll get better as the year goes on. It's the second game ever. And you're playing against a now top 4 team, a really good Oregon team who might make the playoff as well. So maybe he'll get his revenge. Maybe he'll mature throughout this. It's a minor setback for a major comeback.
You have over 600 yards of total offense and you don't win a game. Like, No, I think there's deeper problems here. And I think, look, there'll be a lot of upsets because there's a lot of freshman quarterback this year. But to me, this wasn't an impressive team. They didn't look impressive in week 1. And I'm going to get off the dick that, hey, man, this is a championship caliber team. It's just not.
Well, I think Joe Moorhead just kind of has your number going back to Penn State. So the offense coordinator for the Oregon.
Look, so Oregon versus Ohio State, they've played 10 times. How many has Oregon won?
Well, that was their first win.
Yeah.
However, how many times have they played in modern era?
Yeah, like
I don't
Mario
really care if
Cristobal.
Ohio State won even in the
I don't know.
the
The
90s.
national championship in 2014 when we beat Mariota?
That's like once.
Yeah, it wasn't
so okay, you're
Cristobal.
1-1 in modern times. Like
We've played Oregon a fuck ton. I've been at 3 Oregon games in the last 20 years. We play them all the time in the Rose Bowl, and we house them every time. It's the only time they've beaten us. This is it.
Well, this is a new Oregon team with Mario Cristobal. You got Joe Moorhead, offense coordinator. This is a good Oregon team. They recruit the fuck out of the country now.
Look, the team is great, and
they got a pretty solid quarterback in Anthony Brown. The problem, you guys, you probably should have stacked the box because like Brown, he's solid, but he's not really going to be a deep threat.
yeah, look, he was another
Boston
50% passer as well. 17 for 35 for this fucking guy. Yes, you should have stacked the box. I don't know what was going on. It was the same running play over and over again. If you want to look at what happened in this game, Oregon had 269 yards rushing. That's it. It wasn't their quarterback. That guy's a 77 QBR. You're up against...
But he doesn't make mistakes because he's been around for a minute with Boston College.
Well, his completion percentage was exactly 50%. Sorry, it was under that. It was 48% in that game. 17 of 35.
Yeah, they ran the ball down your throat.
Yeah. But 17 of 35 is what that quarterback is. He's not a great quarterback. Neither is CJ Stroud. We need to figure it the fuck out. And let's go to Jack Miller or Kyle McCord. Next man up. We'll see what happens next week. But yes, if you win out, they'll probably make the playoffs because somebody else is going to lose here. The fact that you brought a Missouri Heisman finalist for quarterback up, like that's what we're sitting on.
I think you said we don't understand what it's like to have great quarterbacks, and we have.
No. I said championships.
We have
you
the
don't
same-
win. You don't have championship caliber people there.
Well, we won a championship in 2017, Ross. People forget that.
Oh, UCF?
Yeah.
Well, I recognize that one.
Coley Matrix does too.
It's the rest of the world that doesn't. But look, it's just a different story when you go there, and you know how many people are sitting in that room. You could pick any of them. I mean, I hate to go back to the Burrow thing, but like he was in there with Haskins, Cardale Jones, Braxton Miller, and one more who I'm fucking blanking on, where it was just like, dude, you could have had any of those fucking guys in there. Give him a shot. Burrow was going to get a shot. He fucking broke his wrist, and that's where we're at. The other biggest upset of the weekend was Texas against Arkansas. Called that one.
There's another one too. We can get to that. That was a fun, flirty late night game.
Texas. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Shit.
In Tallahassee.
Are they?
There were 2.
Florida State that was outside the top 25.
That's true.
Though.
We could talk about it on our show.
We can talk about
I was going to save it for you guys on there, but
kind of worth.
It
talking
is.
about.
It is. Texas, man. You Texas fucking Longhorns fans. Chris Phelan in particular. You came after me week 1 after I picked Lafayette to beat you guys, and you were like, "How about the fucking Longhorns and all this other bullshit?" No, this is exactly who I thought this team was, and they got fucking smoked by Arkansas. Last row. Lopez was there. Is he the guy that's going to the upset games? I don't know. We'll find out.
Already named a new starting quarterback.
To be fair,
Do they really?
Casey Thompson, now your starter in Austin.
You're kidding.
Hudson Card era done.
There we go.
It-
Steve Sarkisian. Why? Why did they do that?
I don't know.
Had-
Where was Steve Sarkisian, the offensive coordinator last year?
had to do something.
Yeah, I got like Bijan Robinson.
Don't you?
I guess.
Don't you have to
Is
do
their
something?
entire offense.
Except this wasn't Ohio State. They got fucking murdered, and the score wasn't even as close as it looks. Like
No.
they really lost by like 5 scores or something. Like Texas got ass fucked by Arkansas to the point where yes, it was technically an upset based on going into that game.
But when you
by
watched it, you're like, oh yeah, the better
Spread
team.
was 7.
But by the
Spanked
end
Texas.
of the year, or even like obviously it's not now, but by the end of the year, you'll think it's fucking laughable that Arkansas was a 6.5 point dog.
7. So when that game kicked off, it ended up going to 7. So that's how many people were.
I think you took money line as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was
a big win for you.
This was college. Has been great. NFL was a fucking complete disaster. We'll get to that again. So with Texas and Steve Sarkisian, that's what you do. Came from Bama. That's what he did to Jalen Hurts to get these fucking kids out of there. If they don't have it.
It didn't work.
When
just yesterday or 2 days ago.
For who?
They put both the quarterbacks in during the Arkansas game, I believe. But, I mean, it's not going to work now either. Like, they're putting a different guy in. It's not going to rattle off wins. They're still going to get butt-fucked by Oklahoma. And
I will argue, though, I think you can now recognize Arkansas might have the 2 best coordinators in the SEC right now. Between fucking Kendall Briles as the OC and your boy, Barry Odom at DC.
Never should have been a head coach, wasn't ready, but he's a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah, the SEC, I'm looking at these schedules. I mean, it's a fucking nightmare there. I don't know why you would want to play there. If you're Texas, by the way, welcome to the SEC. That was Arkansas. That was just Arkansas. So imagine when you're playing Bama week in and week out and fucking Georgia and everybody else.
Texas is going to fit right into the lower middle class of the SEC.
Go 6-6,
just
7-5
above Vandy.
Yeah.
Do you know who Texas is going to be now? This is exactly who they're going to be. It's a perfect analogy.
Mississippi State.
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
They're the new Ole Miss. All tradition, no fucking on-field success. They're going to act pompous for reasons you can't fucking fathom.
Well,
and they're not going to do anything on the field.
No. It was... Look, it's exactly who I thought this Texas team was, and it's fine. But let's move on from the fucking Longhorns bullshit now on all the Facebook groups. We're all done now. Those guys can't win out.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
they can't win out.
Someone in the Drinkin Bros Sports fucking group, who I don't remember who it was, but like, dude, just blow me so hard. He was like, "Oh, Texas can't hang with the SEC," and he posted Texas's all-time records, like going back a century against the other SEC
after
team.
the game.
I know exactly who it is.
Oh my God! What? Congratulations! You beat Bama in 1956.
Yeah.
Please play them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Play them this fucking weekend.
I agree.
What are we hanging on to?
It's crazy. And why can't you just be honest about your team? Like, dude, I don't have this fucking hope that Ohio State's going to win the goddamn national championship anymore. That's done. It's 2 weeks in a row of looking at that fucking bullshit. We know what the fucking problems are. If you don't correct them, you're not going to fucking win. So move on. I don't give a shit. Next up here, we got Kansas, Coastal Carolina. That was an easy one to call. It ended up being 27 points. We got it. There was still a lot of points, and I didn't end up betting it. Did you take it in real life?
Coastal?
Yeah.
They barely covered.
Barely.
Kansas was driving. They had to
Barely
stop on
covered,
4th
yep.
down.
Yeah, I said it.
Kansas had decided to kick a field goal.
Little set and forget. That's what I did.
Too many points.
I didn't watch this game.
Mercer, Alabama, same thing. Too many points. That's the one thing Saban doesn't do. He never fucking blows out these shitty little teams that he should.
He tries these like situational football things that he's like, pretend we're down.
Get your boys some reps.
Yeah.
You know.
Get your boys
Yeah.
reps.
Yeah. Bryce Young only threw fucking 227 yards. I mean, it's Mercer.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
They beat Duke in the NCAA tournament a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right. UAB versus Georgia.
That was an easy call.
This one was...
The Georgia line was 24 in this game.
It
couldn't be high
It
enough.
started at 27. Here's the thing. It started at 27 and a half. Then it dropped down to 21 and a half.
Because JT Daniels went out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then they had a bunch of guys out with COVID. I jacked this up on a 6-point teaser, like 30-something points. Wasn't fucking good enough there. 56-7 in that one.
No one's scoring on Georgia this year.
Stetson Bennett.
Yep.
Is he the new quarterback now? How long is that oblique strain going to cost JT Daniels?
I'm looking right now. No timetable I'm seeing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whenever there's no timetable, that's 4 to 6. For real. You're fucked on that. You don't want to give up the other info on that. Oklahoma versus Western Carolina. No spread on that, 76-0. What do you call that?
I think they covered. If you got an alternate line, you probably it couldn't have been larger than 50.
They
right?
covered
Yeah.
in an alternate world in that game.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, boy. There goes your season, boys. You lost your quarterback, and
by the way,
it's 10-7.
How
over
upset
Colorado.
were you with Texas A&M when mid-game, as Ohio State's coming back against Oregon, Fox just switched to the A&M game?
Worst thing I've ever seen in my time. Being local here, and I have YouTube TV back in North Carolina at the other house. Fucking switched over. They switched over the zip code as well, and they're like, nope, you're going to watch this, but you can watch it on the Fox app. That's where everything is going now, is these fucking apps.
It was terrible.
Speaking of which, the NFL package, by the way, last minute bid by Amazon, $2.5 billion a year to bring the Sunday ticket to Amazon. Bartender, could you put on Amazon Prime, please, for the Browns game? That'd be great. That's where we're going to be at now, because they own the Thursday night games.
Yep, this is me watching the end of the fucking Oregon game.
Yes, same. That's exactly how I watched it as well. I was on my phone. I was on a fucking app. I don't get that at all. for Texas A&M, Colorado.
One score game.
That's it.
7 minutes left. Ohio State's driving. Oh, yeah.
Top 15,
we'll go to
two
kickoff.
top 15 teams.
Crazy.
We'll go to Boulder.
Yeah. Let's go to Boulder. Now that's this Haynes King kid is out. That's it, right? That's their season.
Yeah, they're done. Yeah. I mean, Colorado's not that good at all, and A&M looked fucking inept. I mean, their defense looked great, I guess.
I mean, I wasn't super high on their quarterback situation to begin with, so it's kind of the same, right? Like same expectations for A&M.
I felt smart betting this at the time, but in retrospect, it was just pure luck. But I was texting him and our softcore history co-host Jake. I was like, "Hey, dude, A&M's a live dog right now, down 7 at Colorado," and I was just like, "Fuck it, let's go. They have to beat Colorado. It's fucking Colorado."
Yeah,
and they did barely.
Let's go Buffs.
Yeah.
It's 10-7 in that one. If you were watching that,
their backup quarterback fumbled on the goal line. To go ahead because they were down 7-3, and then they had to drive again in the fourth quarter to finally get that touchdown to win the game.
Yeah. Next up was Clemson, South Carolina, 49-3.
South Carolina State, right?
South Carolina State.
Either way. Again, same problem as Ohio State with that ukulele kid. 14 for 24 in that game.
It's a lot of freshmen getting broken in. I think part of the reason that you're upset and that a lot of people are annoyed is like we've been so used to like Tua and who are the other freshmen?
I mean, fucking Trevor Lawrence coming in.
Trevor Lawrence.
Like, our brains are broken thinking that kids should be successful immediately. I think it started with Johnny Manziel coming in as a redshirt freshman, winning the Heisman, and that just changed everything. Everybody like expects kids to come in day one to be fucking legit, and that's not always the case. Even Joe Burrow, his first year at LSU, wasn't very good. He had to go through an entire season, and then he took that hit from UCF in the Fiesta Bowl, and he's been the best quarterback ever since.
Well, look, I think because I have kids that are going through all this shit right now, playing and everything, and I coach I've coached how many teams now? 3 or 4 of these fucking things. There's parents that are starting these kids so young, and there's programs like, so here it's called Austin Sports Academy. They'll pick you up at 6 years old, take you to the academy, and you're training all day.
Yeah.
It's just so much different than when we grew up. You used to need that year. Same with the NFL, because the NFL is the same way. Like, hey, you draft a quarterback, you're going to fucking start them, and you better be good immediately. Like Joe Burrow, great fucking first year in the NFL. That's what you want, or else these guys are fucking done. Same with Dwayne Haskins. That guy's out. He's gone. This is the world, unfortunately. And like, if you're coming in as a true freshman, a little bit more forgiveness. If you sat behind a guy like Justin Fields, and you play identical to Justin Fields, there's no way you shouldn't be able to pick up that offense. And overthrows, I will never excuse. That's just nerves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the fucking yips.
I mean, I agree. You expect a little more of a redshirt freshman than a straight up.
But ukulele, you take this fucking kid, and I told you I call him this all year because I'll never be able to pronounce this DJ ukulele kid. He came in against Notre Dame and was lights out as a true freshman. On a primetime game, he looked amazing. He's not looked great this year. 14 for 24 against South Carolina State, and I don't think that's a Division I school.
FCS,
yeah. FCS. Next up, Murray State against Cincinnati. Desmond Ridder. These guys, man, continue to roll.
They came out slow. 7.5. Right?
Murray State is another FCS school. Who gives a shit? Cincinnati, dark horse for the playoffs there.
I don't see it.
I do.
Georgia's going to lose one shitty game.
Maybe.
Cincinnati is going to lose the UCF.
Not one.
And that's not even a homer call.
Not one prayer.
We're going to beat them.
No.
Yeah.
This is a great Cincinnati team. There's a fucking dude in Drinkin Bros Sports who looks old as shit. I don't know if it's a joke profile or whatever. Clarence Lamar Stone is his name. He has been saying Bearcats for 2 years on every single post, no matter what it is regarding. Yes, this might be your year. I finally had to write him back and say this might be your year, and I think you guys are going to playoffs this year.
I actually, you know what? I kind of agree with what you just said about Georgia losing a stupid game. Looking at their schedule again, they have a 4-week stretch that is just a fucking minefield. Arkansas at Georgia.
Yep.
Which
if
now
it was in Fayetteville, I'd agree.
Then they go to Auburn, rivalry game on the road. Kentucky is fucking tough.
Florida?
And then they play Florida right after that.
Yeah,
but the problem, too, is those games are 4 in a row, and they do have a week off before Florida.
Okay.
But that's a brutal 4-week stretch.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't mention the 5th game there.
No, Missouri at Georgia, that's not going to be a problem for them.
Right. But look, it's just too tough, man. And one of those teams could sneak up on you, have a great day. Georgia's one of those teams that always loses a bad game. Ohio State used to do that too. And it's just like, hey, dude, I think it's going to be wild at the end of this shit. For real. And I think Cincinnati probably goes undefeated. And I don't know how you don't put them in at the end of this.
If they do, yes, I agree they should be in. But it's just they're going to trip up to one of these stupid games. They had to play Notre Dame, who, I mean, let's face it, Notre Dame doesn't look super great right now. Indiana this week.
Wait, is Georgia playing Notre Dame?
No, Cincinnati.
Okay, Georgia played Notre Dame last year, right?
A couple years ago.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a home
and
and
home.
home.
More fans at Notre Dame than Notre Dame. It was pathetic.
Yeah.
Notre Dame is the most overrated fucking fan base. I swear to God.
Speaking of which, they're up next. They played Toledo. We called this. Toledo is a gritty fucking team, man. This came down to the wire. And, I even teased this down with some points in this one. But shit, Toledo only lost by 3 points in this game.
They were up, too.
Toledo,
they were
Rockets.
up late.
Yeah. They should have won the game.
They should have won. They really should have.
They're going to win the MAC. They'll win the MAC. They'll have a good season this year. But, Notre Dame, no excuse to beat fucking Toledo.
And by the way, that last Notre Dame drive was fueled by penalties.
It was.
3 fucking penalties on that last drive.
A lot of homer calls.
It was pretty. I was getting annoyed. On one of them, I was like, all right. But, it was literally just flag after flag.
And their defense.
I'm annoyed with all the flags this year. There's a lot this year compared to years past. And, even in that, I was watching that shitty-ass Eagles game against the Falcons. It's a battle of who could be worse, and the answer is the Falcons.
Clearly,
and
we look great.
I'm going to have to wear the Ed Sheeran jacket from the NFL on the NFL show. It's been ordered. It's coming in.
Express delivery.
Okay, it comes tomorrow. I'll be wearing that on the NFL show on Wednesday because of it. But with that, man, some of these goddamn games, man. It was 20 in the third quarter. There was 24 penalties in that game alone. I couldn't even watch the fourth. I was like, I can't see any more fucking flags on. That game was 9 hours long, dude.
It was. Yeah.
24 penalties through 3 quarters.
They're trying to protect Matt Ryan's body.
Both. I think it was 11 on each, 12 on each side in the third quarter, and I was like, oh my god, dude, I can't physically watch this anymore.
I think he got slammed to the Earth's core.
He did
by our defensive line multiple times.
Yeah. He's never going to return. No. But yeah, there's so many penalties this year, man. Get the fuck over it. I'm tired of seeing this shit. Next up, Iowa State. Chatted about that earlier.
Bad Brock Purdy showed up.
Yeah.
3 interceptions. I think he got benched at one point. Yeah.
Man, this was a shit housing. I thought this was the easiest call of the day. We won a lot of money.
Brees Hall had a few fumbles, I think.
Yeah.
The only good part about this game
Iowa State
is that online on Twitter and Reddit and shit, because this was a day game and then Texas was at night. All these Texas fans were like, oh, yeah, Iowa State. You don't fucking need us. Because Iowa State fans were like, whatever, we're ranked higher than Texas this year. Get the fuck out. We don't care. We're a top 10 team. We'll be fine. We have a great coach and everything. And then Iowa State lost, and Texas fans were dancing on their graves. See, we told you you're not good. And then Texas got butt fucked, which was nice. But yeah, don't trust Iowa State. Never trust Iowa State.
No. Especially early. You can trust them later. Once they have 2 or 3 losses under their belt, that's when they start to really rev up and ruin other people's seasons.
They need to know their role.
Yes.
By the way, Jack Cohn for Notre Dame has a dislocated finger, so I don't know how far that team is going to go.
Their backup quarterback was going off, on the ground at least.
On the ground, yeah.
He was looking pretty good.
Notre Dame usually plays a pretty decently tough schedule. I don't know how that's
they always have a good schedule.
Yeah. Next up, Ball State, Penn State. 44-13. I actually took this with the points, said it on the air last week. Dan Holloway was afraid. He said that was too many points. It was Ball State. Yeah. You're fine on that
Penn
one.
State was going to ball out.
Also, that line was helped by the fact, we talked about this on Outside the Top 25. We were like, how the fuck is Ball State getting votes? They were getting votes last week.
Yeah, for some reason.
They're top 25.
Oh, God.
I don't know
why. It made no
Either.
sense. They're, analytically, both of their units, offense and defense, are,
Which, by the way,
Arizona's
0-2 right now. They're receiving votes for the top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's bizarre. Yeah, but that was an easy. Honestly, Ball State scored more than I thought that they would because Penn State is sneaky good this year.
13 points.
They're fine.
Yeah. Florida, 42-20 over South Florida.
Did not cover?
I think it was 21.5, so they might have either covered by a hook.
Oh, I thought it was
lost by a hook.
27?
No, not 27. Yeah, it was down in the 21-22 range, so it might have been a push. I told you to stay away from this. I didn't really know. It's a lot of fucking points, and you either won by the skin of your teeth or lost by the skin of your teeth. Either way, there was better games to bet on. Trap 12, here we go.
I lost several $100s.
I lost so much money on this. I made
Stanford,
Yeah.
USC. You said how awful Stanford was,
They are.
and they had no chance to win. They smoked USC.
I know.
Clay Helton needs to get fired fucking yesterday.
How is he still the coach?
It's like K-State, the most uninspiring fucking team alive, made Stanford couldn't do anything against them.
Had nothing. for
Anything.
fucking K-State.
So look, if you're at home, the reason why we call it the Trap 12 every fucking week for years and years and years, you saw it in Ohio State, you see it in this game. You don't know which one of these fucking teams is going to show up, and if they're actually good or they're actually dog shit, you have no fucking idea. But Stanford, you guys were positive. Look, full disclosure, I do not know anything about Stanford. They're outside the top 25. That is not my fucking wheelhouse. However, you said they were the worst team maybe in college football, and they just beat the shit out of USC.
I think we have breaking news.
Go ahead.
I think Clay Helton was just fired.
From USC?
Yes.
No way.
This afternoon, I informed Clay Helton of my decision to make a change in leadership of our football program. Yep.
Clay Helton's fucking fired. Live on air.
Wow.
By the way,
Right as we're doing the fucking story.
Yeah, right as we're doing and by the way,
Seeking a change.
This was, just
Right now.
broke, like 15 minutes ago.
yeah.
Holy shit. Dante Williams, who served as Trojans cornerbacks coach and defensive pass game coordinator, was named the interim head coach. My God, man, that never happens.
So we're expediting Urban Meyer to USC, right? He's going to fake the heart attack week 4 for the Jaguars and then end up in LA week 8.
You know what was weird about this was we had talked about this when this was going on with this Clay Helton shit. We thought Urban Meyer was actually going to take the USC job. I did, and I said it live on air. I was like, that's the fucking bet. If you're just looking to retire and have a good life in Malibu, like I've never seen a happier human in my life than Pete Carroll. Ran by him on the beach when he was coaching those USC teams. The most happy, positive person in the world. And he goes, look around you. It's impossible to be sad living in a place like this. And I was like, God damn it, Pete, you're right. I was ready to go run through a fucking wall for that guy. You're right. Like Urban Meyer could have taken this. They hired Clay Helton before getting into contract negotiations with Urban Meyer.
By the way, just to really hammer home the point of how happy Pete Carroll was, that place made him so happy even though he knew 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So even despite knowing that people were murdered by their own government, he was still just so happy.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to be real, though. That place that he was jogging in Malibu where his house was,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what
Bush
happens.
could have killed 5 times that many people.
You could have had 4 more 9/11s.
Yeah.
I mean, his life isn't changing out there.
It's just that good.
Yeah.
Little hat tip to BT Bates in the chat for that information.
Wow.
Yeah.
BT Bates is on it. I'll get DMs in the middle of the night, like literally like from BT Bates that will have more college football knowledge and news than I like find from actual like ESPN or something.
That's
shit
hilarious.
Like that.
Right
He's
as
all
we're
over
talking about it. Well, it happens, and that's, again, I like these quick decisions.
Yeah, fuck. You can't lose that Stanford team by that much.
No.
Go ahead and bench CJ Stroud while you're at it. Texas, Arkansas, 40-21.
Wasn't even that close.
No. I had to go to a stand-up show in the middle of this, and I had already known the game was over.
15 yards on Rob.
Yeah.
For horns down.
Horns down.
to
Last
be
row
on the horns
Lopez
down.
was there. Didn't storm the field, though. I'm a little disappointed. And he's off camera, so we're going to bring him at the end. And we'll tell you where he's going this weekend. After that, Eastern Michigan, Wisconsin. Nobody bet this. I don't think. I didn't.
So whenever Wisconsin has a big point spread, I never feel comfortable because it's Wisconsin.
Yep.
Like is this? Are they just going to have a bunch of like 10-minute drives and win like 21-0 or something? Like I don't.
I think they opened up with like 14 straight runs.
Yeah, I'm not high on
Sick.
Graham Mertz or any of these guys. He was 14 for 17, which is fine, but you're playing Eastern Michigan, and that's not enough. Like, I don't think they're Division I, right?
I think
No,
Eastern
they
is.
are.
Yeah, Eastern is.
They're MAC, I think.
Ugh, good luck. I think the spread was 28.5, so they didn't
I hate
cover.
that. I
cover.
hate that shit for Wisconsin.
Yeah, I didn't touch it. Virginia Tech, Middle Tennessee, no spread, obviously, and
Lost that.
Then we won by 21. Did you bet on that?
I did.
You fucking
Took Middle
dirtbag.
Tennessee. I think it was like 14 and a half.
Ooh, is that it?
Yeah.
Shit. Why is Virginia Tech ranked? Well, they're 2-0.
They
They
beat a
beat UNC,
shitty North
yeah.
Carolina team.
All right.
Give it time.
Who, by the way, UNC, they got a real problem on offensive line because Sam Howell's getting the shit kicked out of them every game. Even the Georgia State game, they kicked the shit out of Georgia State, but like Sam Howell took some fucking licks.
Yeah.
He might not last the rest of the season.
I don't think so either, man. And if I'm him and you start to look at your NFL future versus this fucking squad, you might want to think about sitting out the last few games down there at old UNC. Next up, here's a kid who we've gone all in on here. Matt Corral. My God, man. 5 touchdowns. I know it was Austin P. But this is what you have to do to win the Heisman Trophy.
Right.
You got to pad those stats,
Gotta pad
brother.
those stats.
You got to pad those stats.
Didn't have that many yards, but yeah, 5 TDs is fine.
5 TDs.
That's what you need.
That's what you need there. That's what you need. Good for him, dude. I'm still on your side. I'm still on the Matt Corral train.
Yeah, he's what, second best quarterback in the SEC, maybe?
Maybe the best. Who's better?
Bryce Young.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. We'll find out.
I guess.
We'll find out.
You know, we'll see.
I'm all in on Matt Corral. I like this fucker. They're fun to watch, dude. Kiffin, he's one of those guys that could go in there and just be like, look, we're going to throw 70 times against Bama. Let's just find out what happens.
He's a top 2 play caller in college football, probably.
Maybe for their offense. Does he call their offense there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun. Look, it's fun to watch. I enjoy it, man. So if you're an Ole Miss fan, let's go, dude. That's fun. Utah versus BYU.
The Holy War.
Man.
Lost this too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't touch any of these fucking
this
Trap
game,
12 games.
I was close to touching it, but yeah, it's just you were the one that talked me out of it.
It was a lot of
These games always too weird.
Yeah, but I kept so I won some money during the day, even hit a parlay that I showed you, and then I lost most of that money on fucking Utah and USC because I kept doubling down live bets.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, there's no way USC went down to Stanford. I'm like, all right, hammer the money line, hammer the money line, and then it just snowballed into the poorhouse. So
Yeah, and hammer the like button if you're watching on YouTube right now.
but yeah, BYU looks okay, and I think they have Arizona State coming in this week.
They do, and that is a trap game 100% for Arizona State, who looked pretty unspectacular against
The last 2 weeks,
37-10. I think they covered in this
They
game.
did.
though.
Well, no, they didn't. They did
didn't.
not cover. I bet them live.
Because that was 28, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet them to cover live because the line dropped. So the line dropped to like 17 or 16 or something like that. So I smashed the live because UNLV is terrible. But the original line was like almost 30.
Trap 12, I don't bet this shit. Never. I just don't. For the ladies of Arizona State, though, proud of you guys. App State played Miami. 25-23. Didn't touch that game either.
App State covered.
Yeah, they covered. And
nine.
look, the Derek King thing and all that other shit, like,
I've been saying it all year. He's not great.
no.
He's whatever.
And the
Like,
U
Miami's
is
offense
not
is whatever.
back. He left that Houston offense. He could have gotten drafted if he would have stayed at Houston and just kept throwing for 60 touchdowns a game. They wouldn't have known how shitty he is. Now they do, and he's fucked in the NFL draft now, playing down in Miami.
He was never going to be like a
No, he's tiny. He
big-time
reminds me
prospect.
of, was it Denard Robinson, the Michigan quarterback?
Michigan, yeah.
Yeah.
He reminds me of that.
Shoelace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't tie my shoes because it'd be unfair if I tied my shoes. He's just a tiny, fucking fast guy who I guess can throw the ball, but isn't actually that good. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he's impressive in workouts type of thing. Like at practice, he looks insane. And
Yeah.
then he gets on the field and it's not good.
You just described CJ Stroud. Denard Robinson, by the way, is tying shoes at Foot Locker right now for kids. So if you got a young one, you're looking to lace up, go ahead and take him down there. Georgia State against North Carolina, 59-17. Georgia State is FCS?
Sunbelt.
No, well, whatever.
They're Fun Belt,
Same
yeah.
thing. Didn't bet that one either. Auburn rolled against Alabama State, 62-0 in that. Which is a real fun thing. Real quick here, we're going to get to our sponsor of the day. It's DraftKings.
It is.
DraftKings.
Love some DraftKings.
DraftKings. They're still offering free fucking money, dude.
They do that. It's weird. I don't know how they stay in business.
All you have to do is bet $1 and you get $200 in free bets. So, not sure how they're able to do that, but they are. And good for them. We love it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code BROS to receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any football game. Here we are, kids. We're going to week 2. We're going to week 2 in the NFL. Week 1 may be over, but the season is just getting started at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To kick off week 2, DraftKings is giving new customers $200 in free bets instantly when they bet $1 on any football game. Listen up, because you don't want to miss this. Head to the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and place a bet of $1 on any week 2 game to receive $200 in free bets instantly. If Sportsbook is not yet available in your state, DraftKings still has a huge cash prize up for grabs all season long with their daily fantasy contests. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code BROS to receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any football game. That is promo code BROS this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner in the NFL. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Let's move on to this week's odds in college football. Is it weird for you guys doing the top 25?
I mean, I made most of my money on the top 25 this past week.
Yeah, we went 8 and 7, both respectively in the outside the top 25 show.
Yeah.
But you're, I think on the season, I'm 59%. You're like 56 or something.
Yeah.
So we're doing all right.
Yeah, I did really well. I did not go heavy this week. I didn't like a lot of these matchups.
There were
in
a lot of
college.
weird lines. There's a lot of like question mark eyebrow raisers.
Yeah, so I saved most of my money for the NFL, and then oddly enough, my favorite teams in the NFL, none of them covered. Not one.
I think you were too emotionally tied to Julio Jones.
No, not at all. Tennessee is who I'm super high on this year. I was.
I know he plays for Tennessee.
No, it's not. It's not him though. Derrick Henry is just a fucking goddamn beast, and he had 8 yards rushing in the first half on 8 carries. I don't know what happened or if he decided to play. That was one of the stranger games I've ever seen. And then Kyler Murray
Went
the NFL,
off.
man. It's the
But
NFL.
he runs all over the goddamn field, 90 yards, because they don't really have a line. And he puts up 28 points a week in fantasy, and they fucking destroyed why they couldn't. Derrick Henry got stopped on 4 straight plays from the 1 yard line, going into the end zone.
It's the NFL.
It's weird.
It's the NFL. The problem with betting the NFL is that if you also bet college, it's like playing softball and tennis in the same day. You're like you think, or golf and tennis in the same day or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I'm swinging something, then I'm going to go swing something else. But it's a different type of swing. And if you do one swing well, you're going to fuck up the other swing.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
College is easier.
College is
the NFL.
easier.
They know too much about the NFL.
Yeah.
They're dialed in.
Yeah.
But even like you take that Chiefs game, OBJ was out. You would have figured the spread would have shifted or whatever. No, just stayed the same, and they didn't cover by 1 point. Look, they're dialed in. But that Rams game, that's who I thought the Rams were last night. Shit. Green Bay is just not playing at all this year. But college week 2 here, this is the game. This is where he's coming to, kids. Nebraska, Oklahoma. 22 points.
Love this line.
Could not make
Oklahoma.
this line big enough for Oklahoma.
Oh my God.
Nebraska cannot score.
They're going to get fucked
Spencer
so hard.
Rattler's going to throw 6 touchdowns in this game.
Now, this is an old school rivalry.
Yeah.
That's back, right?
Don't care. First off, all right, I can tell you this as someone who was in the Big 12 in school.
Yeah.
I know, I was in the conference with these 2 schools. Yes, it was a rivalry, and it ended at the end of the 90s. It hasn't been a rivalry. I'm sure Nebraska fans still care, but A, it's not being played at Nebraska, so that doesn't matter.
No.
And B, Nebraska fucking sucks.
Yeah.
They do.
It doesn't matter. Now, if this game was being played at Nebraska, you might have somewhat of the effect you had of that Arkansas UT game, right? Because that's a rivalry, but it hasn't really been going for 30 years. They might have played once or twice or whatever. However, Arkansas is actually decent, and Texas is mediocre. Nebraska's awful, and Oklahoma deserves to be ranked 3 for now, as far as I'm concerned. Nebraska is so fucking bad. I mean, they lost to Illinois.
The best thing about Nebraska is stopping the run. They have a good defensive line. But, like, Oklahoma is just going to balance that out with a great offensive line, protect Spencer Rattler. Rattler's going to pick apart their secondary. They're going to get so far behind that they're going to let Adrian Martinez try to, like, throw the ball, and that's going to go poorly.
Every Martinez that has played quarterback at that university has been awful.
There might be 3 to 5 interceptions for Nebraska in this game.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to drop this down a point just for safety here on this one, but I'm definitely taking Oklahoma, and I agree with all of this. Nebraska is a horrific team, but it is an old school rivalry, and like I said, Lázaro Lopez will be there at the game. There's a huge fan in Drinkin Bros of Oklahoma. His name is Quentin Berry. He's always asked us to go to these Oklahoma games. We have not made it there yet, usually because Oklahoma just really isn't that good. They're not warranting it. They play weird teams there, but because like the Red River Shootout is never in Oklahoma either.
It's in Dallas,
right?
yeah.
So it's like we can't really go there for these games, like a Oklahoma State or something like that. Like they're just not good enough. However, Lázaro Lopez will be there. So I tell you what, I'm going to hit you up, Quentin Berry. Everybody's been asking us to sit with him at games. I will buy your ticket if you sit with.
First off,
with Lázaro.
Lázaro Lopez should go to a Bedlam game.
Yes.
Oklahoma State, because he looks like anyone that would be there.
Well, he'll be at the Red River Shootout.
Yeah.
So like that, we can guarantee he'll be there. But I'm with you on this. I'm betting Oklahoma. And man, it's a noon game. This should start off the afternoon, right? Put a little fucking bread in my pocket. Next up, we got New Mexico against Texas A&M.
Stay away from A&M.
Minus 28 for A&M. I know this is your expertise here, New Mexico, outside the top 25. They're 2-0.
Yeah.
28 seems like a lot of fucking points, especially with a quarterback with a now broken foot who's not going to play the rest of the year.
The one thing I'll say about A&M is that nobody's hurt on their defense.
Okay.
So I don't know how New Mexico scores, but I still don't love it.
Are you aware of who their quarterback is?
No.
Old Terry Wilson Jr. from Kentucky.
Tight. Don't care. But yeah, it's mostly just like, is A&M going to score? Blah blah blah. I just don't. I don't like betting on A&M at all right now, unless for some reason they play. Unless like they get like Ole Miss gets a weird line against them, where Ole Miss is only like -5 or something, then I would smash that. But like, yeah.
I stay away from this one. This seems like a trap. Seems like a fucking trap. What about you, Delco? You got any money on this? This is minus 28 for A&M with their quarterback now with a broken foot and he's out.
Man,
I know you can't stay away from it. The dirtbag in you wants this so bad.
I mean, the play is A&M. I'm gonna fade my New Mexico. Give me New Mexico on the 28.
That's a degenerate gamble.
That is. I'm not going to.
That's a lot of points.
I could see A&M winning this game like 31-0.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping for 31-3, so we push.
You're right. I don't feel confident in that though.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all. Next up is Cincinnati against Indiana. So every week I have my lock of the week in college football, my lock of the week in the NFL. This is my lock of the week. I am all in on Cincinnati. I'm going to buy it down 0.5 point just to be safe, just in case something weird happens. And I'm going to go all in on Cincinnati in this one. And I also love this over of 50 in this game. Look, I think Cincinnati is for real. I don't know why they're giving Indiana this much respect. They look like dog shit opening week. And they blew out Idaho last week. Congratulations on
Idaho,
that.
who relegated themselves a year ago. They are FCS now.
Correct.
They were FBS, and they were like, yeah, we're not good enough.
No.
Yeah, that's what UConn's doing too.
Yeah.
It's in Indiana.
But
not a whole lot of like home.
Have you been there? Have you been to a game there?
Football? No.
So I have. It's like high school or like JV, where it's like the stands are halfway filled, and like I'm sorry, JV, because then they're waiting for the high school team to play like later on.
Well,
at night.
Here's the thing, Indiana. I went to a school very similar to Indiana, right? Like a big state school in a Power 5 conference, but not one with. Indiana has a good basketball history, but not football, right?
Yeah.
So what they do, they're just drunkards.
Yeah.
This is a stay at the tailgate game, and it's at noon.
Yep.
Or it'll be. I think Indiana's Eastern. Are they Central or Eastern time? I don't even know.
It's right on the border.
They're Central.
Yeah.
They are Eastern.
Eastern,
Okay. Yeah. it doesn't. I mean, like, they're going to stay at the tailgate. They're going to be tired. This is not going to be a home game situation.
No.
This is not going to be a situation where Cincinnati gets scared of the crowd.
Well, here's the thing: Cincinnati is so close to Indy that it's like, dude, you can just drive over.
Yeah.
So there might be more Cincinnati fans at this game than there is Hoosier fans.
The Indiana fans are going to win the party, as they say. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they're all going to be there getting shit faced. Somebody's going to get fingered in a porta potty. It's fine.
Yep.
But like, yeah. There's not going to be any crowd factor.
This line
This line is 3.5 is fucking bananas.
It's crazy to me. My lock of the week, Cincinnati. What about you, Delco?
I'm going to go Indiana money line.
Oh, God. Are
Fucking
you
psycho.
fucking kidding me?
No.
Why? How is that a real possibility in your mind right now?
They're at home. What? Cincinnati's not that good. I'm telling you right now. Cincinnati's going to lose 2 games.
You hate them because they're in your conference and they're going to win.
They're coming with us to the Big 12 too. It's all like I like Cincinnati, but I don't see them winning.
God damn it.
So right after this is over, hop on. If you're not subscribed to Drinkin Bro Sports, it's free. It's a Facebook group. You can literally see my betting slips in there. I will be putting $1,000 on Cincinnati as soon as this fucking show ends to prove this. Like this is fucking craziness.
Okay.
Unless they have a Marshall type accident where their entire plane goes down. You don't even need a plane for this, actually. We need a bus crash. We need an old school, like, Leonard Skinner bus crash.
To be fair, I think that's more likely statistically.
Yeah.
A bus crash.
Probably.
Yeah.
Is there a storm coming?
Didn't a college baseball team all die on a bus like a couple years ago? In Atlanta? Didn't they, like, fall off an overpass?
Yeah, there was a hockey team, too, in Canada.
Yeah.
Look,
unless something like that happens.
I think we're overreacting. The Indiana's lost to Iowa in Iowa City. I think Iowa's a really good team. I said potentially they could win the Big Ten. Indiana isn't that bad. And I think Indiana at home is, the offensive and defensive lines are going to be bigger. They're going to be tougher. And they're just going to kind of push around Cincinnati.
What?
Dirty Dan is back. This is officially filthy, dirty Dan.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm glad he's back.
He's got his fucking waders on, dude. He's out there in the mud, dude.
It's gross.
He's probably going to pull in a catfish with a fucking rubber glove on, dude. Break a couple fingers. One of those huge.
No, he goes fister.
Yeah. What is that? Noodling?
Yeah,
Is it Hannah who does that?
Yeah, Hannah Barron.
Yeah.
Big fan of hers. Dude. You got to put the whole fucking arm in there. So, look, I am putting $1,000 in this game. This is my lock of the week. Next up, we got Virginia Tech against West Virginia. Yeesh.
Gross.
I know. It's West Virginia -3 here. Whenever they do that, it's because it's so evenly matched. It's basically a pick 'em. Although Virginia Tech is ranked 15. I don't know how.
Because they beat a shitty team.
Yeah, but
I think you do. Isn't a home field advantage roughly about 3 points?
It is.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, that's what we're looking at here.
Or saying these teams are even, which I don't argue with. I think this is a win that Neil Brown can get at home.
Yeah.
I think West Virginia wins this game.
That feels right.
And they probably cover. So, give me West Virginia -3.
Gun to my head, I would take that as well. I'm not actually going to bet this game, but like gun to my head, I would take West Virginia to cover.
Okay. I'm going to stay as far away from this as humanly possible.
Yeah,
this is disgusting to me. I don't even watch it. Hopefully won't even be awake for it, to be honest with you.
Take me home.
Next one, dude. Yeah. Fucking next one is Coastal Carolina against Buffalo.
Hey, Dan.
Coastal -13. Who you got?
Fuck Buffalo.
Fuck Buffalo.
Fuck Buffalo. Buffalo ruined my parlay last week. Couldn't cover 14 against fucking Nebraska.
They kept kicking field goals in like clearly 4-down situation. Like they're down 3 scores and they're like, we're going to kick field goal. And they went 0 for 4 in their field goals. Their kicker could not make a single field goal. But yeah, fuck Buffalo. What's the line for this?
13.
Yeah, give me Coastal.
Oh, wait. Just as I refreshed it, jumped to 13.5.
Sheer principle bet. Fuck Buffalo.
Yeah,
give me
Buffalo.
the fucking
Coastal.
Chanticleers.
Coastal by 21.
Yeah, I'm on the Coastal train as well here. I also like this over at 57.5. Man, it's just both teams score. Look, Buffalo put up 69 points their first game, so it is possible.
Couldn't put up shit against Nebraska.
Yeah, they couldn't do a damn thing against Nebraska.
Weird. But I like Coastal in this one. You're fine on that one. Michigan State against Miami.
Oh, we love this game, actually.
Fun game, dude. Miami -6.5.
Michigan State money line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take the points, but you could sprinkle that money line.
I would take the points over the money line for sure.
Michigan State's just weirdly tough this year. Like Mel Tucker kind of has a physical team this year. They run the ball down your throat. Miami's not good.
But it's old school Michigan State. That's who they used to be.
Miami is soft as fuck. Dude. fuck all of that shit. I can't believe the line.
And again, it's not like
can't
Miami
either.
has a home field advantage.
They
Nope.
don't.
No, they don't. I've been to that stadium numerous times now.
That cat video was dope.
The cat video, they did save a cat. And then held it up like Simba.
Yeah, they should have let it die.
That would have been horrifying for
Sorry.
the children.
Tickets are $41 on drinkinbrostickets.com. A lot of people have been buying tickets off there. It's like $10 cheaper than StubHub. It's because you control the back end, so it's super fucking easy. Everybody's just an asshole. But yeah, so if you want to go to this, $41. That's it. You give me Michigan State
in an
against
NFL
Miami.
Stadium. They can't even fill a. They wouldn't
No,
even fill a
dude.
college stadium.
No.
This is Miami is very akin to Los Angeles to me in their sports fandom as a city.
Mm-hmm.
But even worse actually, because I don't think they like anyone unless LeBron James plays for the Heat. Or maybe when the Dolphins are
Well,
good, like people
they're
crawl
Dwayne
out of
Wade
the
people.
nearby swamps to go watch that.
Yeah.
But like they really they don't show up for any team there.
Nope. No.
Got to beat the traffic.
Got to beat the traffic. It is brutal there. My God, dude. Driving from South Beach over to this fucking stadium. Stay in Fort Lauderdale. It's my only advice if you're visiting that area to go to one of these games. Next up, because I'm all over Michigan State as well, by the way. I love this. This is great.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Northern Illinois against Michigan. This is Michigan minus 27. This is exactly where I knew they'd put this fucking thing. They always put these fucking games. Hey, here's the other part of this, right? The ones that are pick 'em is minus 3. The ones that it's like, it's going to be a blowout. It's minus 27, minus 28
Right.
every fucking time in this one. I don't know shit about Michigan,
They looked really good against Washington. Like they really
but Washington
manhandled
is
Washington.
fucking awful.
I agree with that.
They're super bad since Peterson left. Jimmy Lake
I
probably
agree.
gets fired.
They lost to
this year.
Montana.
Yeah.
I made some money on Michigan against
The
Washington this last
the
week.
under hit too.
Yeah.
Because Washington just can't score.
That's too big of a line for
Are the
Michigan.
Salukis here? Are they Division One?
That's not the Salukis.
No.
Southern Illinois is the Salukis.
Oh, my bad. This is Northern Illinois.
These are
Who's
the
that?
Huskies.
Oh, the-
Huskies.
okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Different dog altogether. Apologize to all those breeders out there. Look, I don't know enough about Michigan yet to bet something like this at minus 27.
No.
I just don't know enough about this team.
It just seems like another game Jim Harbaugh runs up the score, right?
Well, to keep his job, and
Yeah.
I understand it. Like,
Michigan moves up. They're 25 right now. They
Yeah.
move up the rankings a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, what's going on in Ann Arbor? Does Jim finally have it figured out?" No, he never
No, he
does.
doesn't.
I wouldn't hate betting this, thinking they win by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I'm not going to. But
if I had to make a bet,
Yeah.
I would take Michigan.
yeah,
tickets are $19 on drinkinbrostickets.com right now.
this is first off. It's just like the Indiana game. This is a tailgate game,
Yeah.
right? You don't go in for this game.
No.
It's a noon game, so they're fucking sleepy. So yeah, I mean, it's a tailgate game.
Yeah.
And honestly, those were my favorite games.
Well, sometimes it depends.
Yeah, it depends on when you're. Sometimes you are like when I was there for like good teams, they would just be like, I'd be having so much fun at the tailgate, but I'd be like, fuck, I gotta go in now. Like we're playing Nebraska at home.
Yeah.
Like you gotta fucking go. And sometimes you just want it to be Baylor.
Next up, we got Purdue against Notre Dame. This is Notre Dame minus 7. Keep in mind, Jack Cohn's got a dislocated finger.
Rivalry game.
Rivalry game. This is fucking Indiana in states right
It is.
here.
It literally is a rivalry
Yeah,
game.
I mean, it is for whatever it's worth. I guess if you went to school there.
You gonna bang that drum?
Yeah, bang that fucking
you think
drum.
of any-
Minus 7.
Can you think of any two schools you'd want to rage with less? I don't want to shit too much on Purdue because they're a state school. They're fun, but
They've
like,
also-
still.
I went to Iowa, by the way, and I fucking loved it. I loved Iowa, dude.
fucking goes.
I had a very fun time in Iowa, and it's just like, all right, great. Everybody there accepts the fact that they live amongst the cornfields, and they're like, let's just do weird shit, man. Who cares?
Yeah, that's
fun.
Me and my wife joke all the time because we both went to Mizzou. We were like, it's funny because like there was nothing there to do there except blackout. Like when I moved to Austin and I
Yeah.
started partying with UT kids, I was like, what do you guys? You guys don't drink that
Yeah,
much.
but you go to Purdue to become an astronaut. You don't
right
go to Purdue to
black out. You go to Indiana to black out.
Yes.
Who do you got in this one? Notre Dame minus 7.
I think this is a game Notre Dame actually wakes up and like shows that they're kind of an upper echelon team, like at least a top 10 team. And I think they beat Purdue by 17, so they cover.
Okay.
I agree with that. I like Purdue, or I like Notre Dame to cover this game as well.
I'm going to take this down a half a point at 6.5, just in case it is a one-score game.
That's smart, yeah.
And look, a lot of this, it's an extra $40-$50 off my fucking skin dick in here, or my dick skin. And,
Listen, that cancer kid's not walking through that door.
No, he's not.
I think Mizzou
He's
killed
dead.
him. Did Mizzou kill him?
He's dead.
He died after
No,
Mizzou.
no, it wasn't Mizzou. It was Auburn in the bowl game.
Okay, we did beat him that year though.
Yeah, but like Auburn won like 70-6
Yeah.
and just killed that kid.
Yeah. So, R.I.P.
It was a team effort.
R.I.P. But I'm going 6.5 on Notre Dame here, and I'm with you. It's a 2:30 game. It should be fun to party.
So 2:30 Eastern time game, or it's 1:30 Central time. So Notre Dame Central time. Either way, that is prime time for Notre Dame fans. Mm-hmm. They don't want a night game.
No,
these are fucking boring people.
Yeah,
this is prime time for them.
Next up, maybe the game of the day: Alabama against Florida. This is Bama minus 15.5. Any shot Florida wins this game.
We our co-host on Softcore History.
Yeah, I think
is a Gator fan.
So jaded because of him.
Yeah. Jake went to Florida, grew up in Ocala, 30 minutes south of Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
Is about as big of a Gators fan as you
We're
will ever
so
meet.
oversaturated with fucking Florida content because of him, and it makes me just loathe Florida. I have nothing else against Florida except that Jake always talks about them. So Bama by 100.
Well, I told Jake the line. I sent it in our group text today, and he goes, "It's what? Smash that for Bama."
Oh, for Bama.
For Bama.
Interesting.
I bought it down to 14 just to be super safe because it is at the Swamp, and the Swamp is, if those guys do get up, I mean, it's a day game. But if Florida fans get up for it, that's the loudest stadium I've ever been in. But still, Bama fucking murders them. It's a murder. I can't believe the line is what it is.
God, man. Yeah,
They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah,
No.
Emory Jones is.
Look, they're splitting quarterbacks there. So you're going onesie in, onesie outsies.
And Bama splits nothing.
No, they never do.
I think Richardson tweaked a hammy last week.
Oh,
So,
did he?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I'll buy this down. I'm going to take Bama as well. You want to give it... I'm with Jake on this one, man. There is something about the Swamp. They go bug fuck. It's loud as shit. Great place to watch a fucking game if your team is good. They are at 11 right now. I think if Bama destroys them, Bama might run away with everything this year, and we're just calling this another fucking Bama year.
Probably a game you tease down, right? 6-point
Yes,
teaser.
absolutely.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
definitely a fucking 6-point teaser game on a parlay card. But man, I am looking forward to watching this game because I do give Florida a shot of some hope just because of where it is, and those fans did not have.
Dan Mullen's a good coach.
To be
Last
fair,
year.
so it's the other thing that is the one thing I'll knock on the fans for this is that they are going to get up for it, but they also know that this isn't Florida's year, right? They don't think it's Florida's year to win the
It's a
East.
transition year
They
for
don't
Florida.
think so they'll be loud early, but it's going to be very, very easy to take those fans out of the game.
Yeah, I think if a young quarterback's going to get nervous somewhere, though, hearing that crowd in the Swamp is it's a big test. If they fucking blow out Florida by 28, 35 points, they win it all.
Yeah. I don't know who beats Bama except for Georgia this year so far.
We'll see. We will see. But I'll throw this in a teaser. I don't know that I will take Bama straight up with a 15.5. Buying a 1.5 down. Eesh. If I put 500 on it, I'll probably pay off at like 260 maybe. No, it's going to be a teaser for me because I'll give Florida some fucking inkling of a shot. I may come back and eat my fucking words on next Monday's show. Next up, we got Penn State against Iowa. This is Iowa minus 22.5. Iowa's looked really goddamn good this year.
Yeah.
And Penn State is terrible.
Yeah.
They're fine.
So,
Penn State's fine.
no. You think they'll cover this?
I do.
Really?
I'm riding with
Penn
Dustin.
State.
I'm riding with the Crumb boy.
Okay.
Riding with Dustin Crumb.
Yeah. You bet. What about you?
Give me the points. I think Iowa just sleepwalks through this game. It's kind of like a letdown spot. Just came off a giant win against Iowa State. They win. They win by like 17-20, but they don't cover.
Iowa doesn't have a game to look forward to for a month.
Yep.
I think they're fine. I would say buy it. I would probably buy it down to 21 and then just go with that.
Okay.
I mean, 22.5 is like just a weird line.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, Iowa dominates them. How does Kent State score on Iowa?
I that's the defense is too good. So
Right.
this is another one for the 6-point teaser. I take this down. And that's a fun one at 16.5. The other one, too, about taking in a 6-point teaser for that Bama-Florida game is that'll drop that down to 9.5, just in case it is a 10-point game.
Right.
That's a big fucking number, so I'm good with that. Next up, we got Georgia Tech, who is barely in the
They're really bad.
in Division I football against Clemson. Clemson minus 28.5 in this one. Who you got?
Lay the points. Georgia Tech's real bad.
They're real bad.
Real bad.
Real bad.
Yeah, I could see this. I would just buy a half point just to be paranoid about it being a literal 4-touchdown win.
Yeah.
Right? Just maybe keep the push and play. Or if you want to do a full point, whatever. But yes, I'll buy a half point to a full point, and Clemson beats the shit out of Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Also, Clemson, one thing to keep in mind now is Clemson doesn't have any good games left on the schedule.
No, and so they got to keep blowing people out.
They have to keep murdering people. There is no pulling the starters right now. They have to rip throats every fucking week.
This, because I'm with you on this. I will take this down to 27.5 and a 6-point teaser as well to 22.5. But that your exact statement will lead me into the next one. Tulsa against Ohio State. This is Ohio State minus 26.5. I'm going to hammer this probably for 500. Here's the thing, with the reason being that if you don't blow out a team like Tulsa by 28 points, because you need this now. Now you got to win out, right?
Yeah.
So that's your fucking chance. You just got beat, and your defense just got fucking blown up on TV. And if you're Stroud, I think the heat is on. I don't think he has a fucking choice but to throw 6 goddamn touchdowns in this game. So this is either going to be that game where they blow out and win by fucking 35-40, and the defense starts to figure shit out, or their season is fucking over.
Rob, what do we always say?
So my little brother is a Tulsa University alumni. Mm-hmm. His one thing he tells me is Tulsa always covers.
Always.
Okay.
Always covers.
That's what I used to say about Boise. Always bet on Boise.
No. It's not like they're good or they're going to win.
No, Tulsa's not good.
But even when
But
they're
they
not
will
good,
cover.
they cover. And the thing is,
it's my same theory with Boise. Always bet on Boise.
the reason is because Tulsa's gross. They muck it up. And also, I disagree with you that Ohio State needs to blow everyone out because they don't, because you play in the Big Ten, not the ACC. You just need to win games.
I think they've got to be impressive, though, because if your prediction comes true, because the two of you guys both have Georgia and Alabama in, right? Mm-hmm. If that comes to fruition, it's 2 SEC teams. You're looking at maybe a Clemson, right? A Cincinnati, perhaps, or an Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's losing.
How does Ohio State fit into that world if they don't blow everyone out on the rest of the schedule? If you have a game that's
I do agree with that, actually.
35-21 in this one, or like a 14-point game,
yeah,
you're going to go back and look at the total resume and be like, all right, what do they do after that loss to Oregon? Well, they only won by 14 against Tulsa.
Right. This is the exception, I think, to the rule. I think Ohio State does cover. I think they blow out Tulsa. I think they win 49-0.
Yeah, I think they have to. So if they don't, by the way, this is why I'm willing to throw this much money at it. If they don't, then I know not to bet on them the rest of the year, and this season is fucking shot. That's for me personally. So, yeah, I think they have to win by 4 scores. I was surprised it wasn't 28.5, to be honest with you.
I love because of that under the 4 touchdowns.
So do I.
Yeah.
Usually it's that 28.5 bullshit where you're just like, man, fuck off. So that's where I'm going with that. You're betting. So you're taking Tulsa with the points?
I'll take Tulsa to cover.
Okay. For your little brother. You want to give your little brother a shout out? What's his name?
Pat. Yeah.
Pat Fox.
Pat Fox.
Pat Fox.
Is he pissed that he's not a Rob too?
You can only have one per generation.
That's not true.
Why?
Well, if you want to be
George Foreman?
fucking George Foreman.
Yeah.
I do. So your parents could have done it if they wanted to.
They could have.
They just didn't love you enough. Next up, or your brother enough?
Yes.
They did. Him, they didn't.
Yes, exactly.
How weird would that be? You get your dad's name, and as a brother, you're like, oh man, I wasn't good enough.
They all feel it.
Yeah.
They all feel that.
Yeah. I bet they do.
And I don't care.
Next up, Georgia Southern against Arkansas. Arkansas is in the top 20 now. Big boys. Arkansas minus 23.5 in this one. All day. This is in Fayetteville, 4 o'clock game. Yeah.
Yep.
Another letdown spot. Georgia Southern covers.
Nope.
No.
I actually bought down 2 points just to be extra safe on that, and I put it in a teaser, but I think Arkansas fucking railroads them. This is not a letdown spot. This is a momentum spot.
Yep.
This is oh my God, Arkansas might be really, really
legit.
Yeah.
3-0 for Arkansas. Fun place to party and all that other shit. So, like, dude, yes, let's roll. I'm with this for sure. And it's under 24. So, hey, at least there's that. I'm going to take that as well. Also probably going to take that in a teaser. Next up, we get South Carolina against Georgia.
This line's hilarious.
Georgia minus 31. I almost can't believe it.
It's so funny. South Carolina's awful.
South Carolina needed a last-second field goal to beat East Carolina.
Yes, they did.
It's not great.
No, it's not great.
I think Georgia had a lower line last week, right? UAB had better odds.
They did.
Than fucking South Carolina.
They did. They did. By fucking 3 points before the quarterback got hurt.
What's the over-under?
48 and a half, dude.
I would be more comfortable just taking the under.
Yeah, me too. I would
The
also,
under?
Yeah.
No shot Georgia hangs 49 on this team and beats it all on their own?
Well, they could, but like South Carolina's not scoring.
South Carolina won't. What I would actually love to bet is wait till the team lines come out and bet the South Carolina under, just for their team points. Oof. That is what I would bet on this game.
This is too many points, and I'm going to stay away from this.
Yeah.
31. Jesus Christ. Next up, Oregon is playing is this just a made-up college?
Yeah, no
Stony
line.
Brook.
No line.
I don't even know where Stony Brook is. I think I went to a Stony Brook high school in a movie, I
think
believe.
it's weirdly in the Northeast.
It's in New York.
Yeah.
Is it really?
So the cross-country game for Stony Brook.
It's in the town of Brookhaven.
Lovely this time of year.
Yes.
But this is in Eugene, Oregon. Tickets are $25 on drinkinbrostickets.com. Help yourself to this. No line because Stony Brook, I think it's 8-man football. It's just 8 people, right, on this?
Yeah, and even when
sides?
they play against an 11-man team, they still only trot out 8 because they're just used to it. So,
Yeah.
7-on-7.
yeah.
Strange, man. What a fucking strange game. Stony Brook. You really looked at that and you said, hey, you know what? Throw Stony Brook in there.
Why not?
Throw
I
Stony
mean,
Brook.
Alabama just played Mercer.
They play Mercer like every year.
Yeah, they play
Mercer
every
just
year.
like is.
That's the only reason I know where Mercer
Or
is. 'cause
the
they play
it's
Bama
either
every year.
Mercer or like
Citadel.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
like suckerfish on Alabama. They just take their
Take
500.
some money. Yeah, it's a
And
money
why
grab.
wouldn't you?
No. Next up, fun game, night game, 7:30 game. Auburn at Penn State. This is Penn State minus 6. Ooh, this is a fun. I'll watch this game all
game's
day long.
interesting.
Yeah.
This game's gross.
Who do you got? Why is it so gross?
Harson's not very good. Auburn's not very good. They're overrated. Penn State's whatever. Clifford will do just enough to get it done. Their defense is really good. I'm going to take the under in this.
53.
Yeah, I'll take the
the
under.
under is 53 in this game.
Yeah.
What do you got? Penn State against Auburn.
I actually like the under too, but I will say I think Penn State wins by a touchdown. I'll take Penn State in this.
Yeah. Man, this is a tough one. This feels like a trap. This is probably a 6-point teaser for me, and I just take it as a pick'em game, and I'll go with Penn State on a pick'em. But I don't know. I don't know if Auburn's any good. I don't know if Penn State's any good. I think both of these teams are pretty equally matched. So
Yeah, I think Penn State is legitimately good, and Auburn is ranked right now because the last like 5-6 teams, it's like I don't know who to put in.
yeah, and I'm one of those people because Penn State's at 10 right now, which is I think is really fucking high in the rankings.
They're high. Yeah.
I mean, they've had
they beat Wisconsin.
They beat Wisconsin week 1. That's nice.
They did.
Who's
Wisconsin
ranked
doesn't
still?
look that great.
They're 18 right now. Yeah, they're not very
Wisconsin's always competent though. Wisconsin's always a top 40 team.
This is a fun game to watch, and this is one of those games I put money on just because I'm watching it that night, and that's it. Where I'm just like, I'd be bored if I didn't bet on this game, so I will bet on it, and I will take Penn State in this one. Next up is Virginia against North Carolina. A lot of high hopes before the season started. This might be a good game. This is a night game as well, but it is UNC minus 9.
Yeah, I think Bronco Mendenhall is going to bring the Thunder, and I think Virginia covers 9.
Okay,
Just fuck it. Give me Virginia money line.
really?
This is the nightmare season for North Carolina.
Oh,
Virginia.
It would
money-
be very Mac Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, Virginia money line. This is Mac Brown showing why he got fired from Texas.
I could see it happening.
Like really, if you want to get weird on a money line this week, this is the one.
This is the one to do it.
Yeah.
Not for me. I'll be sitting this one out, friends. This is who knows. I thought this team was going to be great. They're not.
Oh, Sam
This
Howell's
is-
getting the shit kicked out
just
of him
crushed.
every game.
He's
Every
getting
game.
crushed. So who knows, man? The next one's fun though. Tulane against Ole Miss. There's Ole Miss minus 14.
I like the over. Take the over on that.
Over. Whoa.
74?
74.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Watch it too. If you don't want to bet it beforehand, maybe if they don't score on their
In the
first
first
2
5
drives
minutes,
each, then smash the over because it'll drop below 70 pretty quick.
Nah, fuck it. I'll go over too.
Yeah, I think the over hit. Unlike Louisville, Tulane has like a pretty decent offense.
Yeah, I like Pratt.
Yeah, I think the over hits. I could see this hitting over 80.
Boy, I try not to bet overs that I might not make the age of. 74 is one of those where I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to live to be that old. I don't touch that. However, I do take Ole Miss minus a half a point. Corral for Heisman. Let's go. I love that kid. Corral for Heisman. Let's fucking go, dude. 8 o'clock
Golden
game
Corral?
at Ole Miss. You know how fucking hard that is to play in there?
They'll get up for this game, too, because Tulane's a Southern school. They'll have fun.
And now they're ranked. Like, they're starting to move up the rankings. Yeah. They got a quarterback who's in the Heisman watch. Like, I'm high on this.
Tulane gave Oklahoma a game, too.
Yeah. And I think Ole Miss fans are, in terms of like the just home field advantage, you got to think they're smelling a little blood because A&M's quarterback is hurt. And
dude.
So like, who's second in the West now?
That's
who is it?
That Alabama game is going to be real fun.
Oh, that Alabama's going to be fucking wild. Yeah,
real fun. Let Corral throw 80 times in that one, and let's have a fucking party. Next up, lovely ladies of Arizona State. Don't forget to donate to Fathers Without Boundaries, which is obviously my charity at Arizona State, where I mentor sorority girls into becoming better women. This is BYU is at home though. This is underneath. This is the sheets. It's the sheets game. Choking, soaking. Arizona State. You're mashing two. I mean, just drastically different fucking fan bases here. Arizona State minus 3.5. Who do you got?
BYU at home.
Wins.
Money line.
Yeah. Arizona State. I watched fairly closely the Arizona State UNLV game last week because I had the live line on Arizona State, and they looked fine.
They're pretty whatever.
Yeah, UNLV's not that good. They looked fine.
And you know what? It's not about wins and losses with Herm, all right? He's building better men.
Yeah.
I think
so. You'll take this life lesson from this loss in Provo, and you'll become a better person.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure you will. I'm actually with you guys on this one. I think BYU wins this game. This is what nobody talks about too, is when you go up to this fucking altitude here, it's weird in Utah, man. And it's a fucking strange environment. You're just not used to it. BYU, and then probably this over, to be honest with you, 51.5. Just because they're able to chuck the ball.
I don't know.
That's
a weird number.
Yeah.
That might just be perfect. I'm going to call push.
A push on 51.5.
Yeah.
So you think they give them a half a point on
I think so.
On a field goal or something?
I think so.
I think, I don't know about the over-under, but BYU wins this game.
Yeah. I've got BYU as well. Next up, we got Iowa State against UNLV. Iowa State is still at 14. How did that happen?
I mean, they played a top 10 team in the second week. Like, you can't
number
just drop
5 team in the country.
You can't just
got
drop
spanked.
them out.
Yeah. This is Iowa State minus 30 against
fucking
UNLV.
way.
It's a lot of points.
No fucking
Not
way.
one prayer.
No, I'm not touching this game.
Not one prayer.
Yeah.
This is at UNLV. And whenever a spread is 30 and the over-under is 52, that scares the shit out of me as well.
Right.
Last row, don't go anywhere. You got to quit pissing here. You're up after this. But next up, this is the last game of the night, huh? Fresno State against UCLA. All right, UCLA minus 11. Do you believe in UCLA?
I
Love
do.
this over.
I love UCLA. I think UCLA is a really solid team. But you know who's also very good? Fresno. Fresno's a good team. Fresno's going to cover. Give me Fresno in the 11.
Love the over-under. Over 61 for the game.
Trap 12 in this. I'll jack this up to probably 17 on a teaser and then take Fresno State.
Okay.
I'm with you in that one. Tickets are as low as $18, by the way, at the Rose Bowl. That's sad.
It's not a sports town.
No, Drinkin Bros.
They're all at the Dodgers game.
.com. Speaking of which, we're giving a guy last row tickets here. Scott Lopez, come on in to the set here and join us. There you go.
Take my seat.
There you go. You can take Bob's seat here. Welcome to the program, my man. Good to have you back. How were the lovely ladies at Arkansas?
Oh, that was the best game I ever been to.
You look blackout drunk.
God, it was fucking stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, and Arkansas won.
Yeah.
That stadium went nuts.
That stadium, they were over capacity the whole time.
Yeah.
It was fucking bananas. I do want to give a quick shout out. You mentioned her earlier to Hannah Barron.
Yeah.
The reason you see this body in front of you is her Instagram page, Hannah Barron Fitness.
Yeah.
If you know her, you know me. Tell her to DM me.
There you go.
I want to put my Copenhagen Southern blend into her Copenhagen Southern lip.
Yeah.
And just swap dip with her because she's a Southern icon.
She really is. She really
God damn
is.
it. You also did mention I did not storm the field.
Yeah, why not? Why didn't you storm the field there?
I was getting a blowjob from Paige from Penguin Ed's Barbecue down there in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Was that real?
At the game. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I had to tell Marcus to go somewhere else. He was talking to some other guy about his podcast.
There it is.
He was talking to some other guy. He's like, oh, yeah, I got a podcast too. And I'm like, Marcus, go somewhere else, bro.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So that's why I didn't do the storm in the field. But we did go down to Drinkin Street. Had some Korean barbecue there.
Yeah, you did.
Best Korean in the country. Spoon Korean.
In Arkansas.
In Fayetteville, Arkansas.
And you got fucking blown there.
That was great.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Paige at Penguin Ed's.
Penguin Ed's. Did you tell her she was going to get a shout out for the blowjob today?
Yep. For legal purposes.
All right, kids, if you want to see him, he will be in the last row of the Nebraska-Oklahoma game. Tickets are now as low as $89 up in the last row on drinkinbrostickets.com to sit with last row Lopez in Norman. He will be there. 11 a.m. kickoff there.
Wait, fucking what?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. You ready for this?
Dude, no.
How far is that drive?
6 or 7 hours.
There it is. Proud of you.
I work second shift at the milk factory here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna have to take the old company truck down to
That's going to be
Norman.
fucking rough.
Super early.
Why didn't you tell me it's at 11 o'clock?
Marcus will be driving you.
Hey, he has to.
Yeah, he's got to.
We blacked out the whole time.
And again, if you find him in the stadium, take a picture of them. Tag us on Instagram at Drinkin' Bros Sports, at Drinkin' Bros Podcast, and at Last Row Lopez. He'll buy you beer. So if you love free beer and good times, find at Last Row Lopez at the Oklahoma game. Delco, Hot Bob, I appreciate you guys joining me today. Again, D'Anthony Holloway is recording Tim Pool's podcast, actually live in person with him in Washington, D.C. So he's there. He'll be back tomorrow, and we got some special guests on there tomorrow.
Yep.
Been really good bet-wise, gambling-wise on college football
can I
this
give you
season.
one last dirty bet?
Good.
Little golf bet.
Oh, shit.
First start of the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
This weekend in Napa. For whatever reason, they're doing this, and then Ryder Cup next week.
Really?
But Napa Valley, Doug Gim, 80-1 on DraftKings. Give me him to win.
What's his name?
Doug Gim.
I don't think I've ever heard
Big
that
fan.
guy's name.
G-H-I-M.
I loved his early work.
80-1.
Yeah, 80-1.
80.
Doug Gim, G-I-M.
To win.
He's out of New Hampshire, I believe.
Yeah, does he?
Yep. Big fan.
Yeah, a little ham horn to end it there. Let's see. We'll just double check to see. So Arkansas fans got fined $100,000 for storming the field. Well worth it.
And I didn't.
That's
So, hey.
standard SEC practice.
But I will say this. You got a fucking beach, though.
Oh, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Can't beat a 78,000 fan crowd just cheering while getting a beach.
You
know
really
what I'm saying?
can't. And then, by the way, the boys from the not outside the top 25 tomorrow will be dissecting that Florida State devastating loss. I didn't think that was real, and you guys texted me in the middle of the night. I was like, oh, holy shit.
And then fucking Lyman proposed.
Yes, all of it was the
You
the
proposed
greatest
to your
thing of all time.
girlfriend after you lose to an FCS school on 9/11.
On 9/11. Yeah.
Never forget.
Man, you could have picked any week.
A day we will live in infamy.
Yeah, goddamn right.
God, Pearl
The day-
Harbor
and you
was
had a
bad.
fucking beach that day, dude.
That was great.
In Arkansas.
I will never forget.
Proud of you.
Yep. Thank you.
Proud of you. Well, that was the Monday morning recap, everybody. I'm going to get these picks in now. Look, that's the advantage of betting on these games early in the week before the spreads go fucking ballistic. Fucking have fun, Scott. We're all living through you now. We're living through you.
I appreciate it. I'm living for you, you know.
For Last Pro Lopez, I'm Ross Patterson. We're out here. Monday morning recap show. We're all done here. Good night.